All right, so we are live. Hey, everybody out there.
Hey.
Hey, so it's Rekaya, the food temptress, here at the Food Temptress Cookbook Store. So you probably noticed the change in the name. And so we're pretty excited. We're getting close. We probably will launch the official store this month. But meanwhile, you could check us out at bookshop.org/shop, Food Temptress Cookbook Store. So let's jump right in. So we have a lovely guest today
Thank you.
chatting with us, Chef Tanorria Askew.
Tenoria.
I knew it. We just said that, and I'm just
Okay.
lazy. I'm not going to be lazy.
Oh my God.
Tanorria, Chef Tanorria Askew. Tanorria Askew,
Yes.
author of Staple Five: 100 Simple Recipes to Make the Most of Your Pantry. It's releasing. Is it really releasing November 23rd?
Officially, finally, yes.
Okay, because I
Finally,
knew there was
finally.
some I knew there was some changes around. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, all right. So a week from today,
Mm-hmm.
7 days,
Yes.
you could pre-order, right? You could
Yes.
pre-order.
Reordering is where it is at.
That's right. So we're excited to have you. So we're just going to jump right in. It's 5 o'clock and we have things to do here. So you were born in Chattanooga, Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
and you moved to Indiana. When did you start cooking?
Oh, I've been cooking since I was 6 years old. Typically around that time it was assisting, like you can do prep over there, like shuck the corn, pick the green beans, help pick the greens, that kind of thing. But my first memory of like cooking by myself was I was in grade school. I do not remember the exact age, but my mom was sick for Thanksgiving. And so I took my little self in the kitchen and I was like, I got this. I did not have it, but I tried. It did
Okay.
not go well, but I tried. Yeah.
And that's okay. And that is all right. And so you spent 15 years in banking.
Hmm.
And so at what point did you know cooking was like your passion, like your path that you're supposed to
Yeah.
take?
You know, go in my corporate career, especially because I started in banking when I was only 20 years old. And so in my corporate career, I was still in college in the beginning, and I was like, cooking's not a real job. I have to go get like the straight laced corporate job. But it was probably about, I want to say 5 or 6 years into that, where I was cooking for friends and family, inviting them over to my first apartment, and they were like, you should do this as a job. And I still just kind of took it like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. And finally I got to the point where I just knew that I didn't want to retire in banking. That was not the legacy I wanted to leave. And I had even transitioned from the banking side of things to human resources, training and development, diversity and inclusion. And it was the diversity and inclusion part that I love the most. It's kind of like what got me up every day to go into work. But it was one little bullet point in my job description. It was not the driver of my job role. And so I really started thinking, like, what do you want to do forever? And it always just went back to cooking. I watched my family build community through food. And I'm like, oh, I can make friends this way. I can empower people this way. I am really comfortable in the kitchen. Like, I always know how to recover. Anytime something happens in the kitchen, I always know how to recover, or it is a time where I am not beating myself up for failing, is when I'm in the kitchen. And so that's when I started making connections like, oh, you can do something with this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And so did you cook on the side while you were banking, or okay, so you became a personal chef.
Yes, about it was probably about 5 years before I left that I was cooking more and more for friends and family, people that were sick and shut in, people who had just had babies. I still didn't really look at it as a side hustle. It was just me spreading joy through food. And then about a year and a half before I left my corporate job, I started Tenoria's Table. I had my first real job as a personal chef. I had this business plan that was like this 3 to 5 year plan of leaving the credit union and doing Tenoria's Table full time. And that 3 to 5 year plan turned into 18 months after I was named fourth best cook in America on MasterChef. That's what like charged me
Yes.
to do this job. You're meant to do this.
Wow. So, what did Gordon Ramsay say about your your food? Are you
So he did say that my shrimp and grits were the best. He said they will go down in history as the best shrimp and grits in the MasterChef kitchen. And so I make shrimp and grits a lot because of that.
okay? Good. I was like, what?
Yeah,
love shrimp and
I
grits.
do make them a lot. But he also I think he really appreciated my flavor, like my ability to bring always focused on flavor. It was not often that you were going to see me bringing bland food to the competition. And if I did bring bland food, it was because I got caught up in the competition and not focused on the food. But yeah, very early on into the competition, he recognized me for my ability for food to be really flavorful and delicious.
Cool. So, what did you learn from that experience being
Oh,
on
I
Master
learned so
Chef?
much. I learned that I'm meant to feed people. I learned that it is easy to get in your own head, and like ways and techniques to stay out of your own head. I definitely learned about taking risk and calculated risk. And I learned that fine dining and cooking under a time frame are not my jam. They're not for me.
Ah,
I learned that.
okay.
Yeah.
So that is good thing to know, right? When you're
Yes.
in this
Yes.
business. Now, did you go to culinary school or you're totally self-taught?
No, I sorry, I'm sharing this on all of my socials while we're talking.
Sure.
Um, I went to culinary school for a semester, and at the time, I was when I first signed up, I was traveling with the credit union I was working for. I was doing quite a bit of travel, and so I was doing all like the online classes, food safety and menu planning and things like that. And then when it came time to be in the kitchen, my travel didn't let up, so I couldn't maintain culinary school. So I say that I came from the Culinary Institute of my parents and grandparents. They
Yes.
really did teach me everything I know about building flavors, making things from scratch, stovetop, Kraft mac and cheese. Those things were not welcome in our home.
Mhm.
Everything was made from scratch. And so that's kind of where my cookbook came from. That's where I was really appreciative of having that staple pantry on Master Chef. And it is kind of how I've learned to survive as an adult. Like, um always make sure you have staple items in your home and you can build anything from scratch with those things.
Mhm. And so an important question
Mhm.
before I forget, is your shrimp and grits recipe in your book?
It is not. It is always on my website. That's why.
Okay.
It
Tell
is
us the
lived on.
website. Tell us where we
Yes.
can find the shrimp and grits.
It is at tenoriastable.com.
Okay.
It's been there since the show. So
Okay.
you can add it in the book also because the concept of my book only gives you 5 additional ingredients outside your pantry staples,
Okay.
and that recipe has more than those 5 additional. So
Okay.
you could get.
So let's go back. So what does staple 5 mean?
Yeah, so Staples plus 5 is recipes that are built around a list of staple pantry items. These are the items that we keep in our pantry that we tend to take for granted, like flour, sugar, dried pasta, canned beans and dried beans, canned tomato sauce, chicken stock. If I'm not making my chicken stock from scratch and freezing it, then I have cartons of it in my pantry. Basic seasonings that everyone should have, like garlic, paprika, cinnamon, salt, pepper, and then some of those things that have like a really great shelf life, like Parmesan cheese, bacon, because you can keep it in the freezer, butter, because I don't cook anything without butter. And so all of those ingredients, meals can be built just from those ingredients, but Staples Plus 5 allows you to add up to 5 additional ingredients. And so those 5 additional ingredients are things like your produce items, your more perishable items, or your proteins. And so these are 100 simple recipes that are based on this list of 35 pantry items, and then you can add up to 5 additional items to it. So some recipes are only pantry staples, and then some recipes have up to the 5 additional ingredients.
Okay. And so, why was it important for you to write this cookbook?
You know, I live in a city that has one of the largest food deserts in the nation, Indianapolis. And a lot of people don't have access to good, fresh food. And I still think that everyone deserves wholesome meals with what they've got. I think everyone deserves access to all of the finest ingredients. But the reality is that a lot of communities are underserved and underrepresented when it comes to fighting for good quality ingredients. And so Staples Plus 5 gives people wholesome recipes. They can stretch their dollar, and they're still delicious recipes. They're not compromising the quality of food. They're not compromising the wholesomeness of the food, or the notion that your bellies are going to be full. And so there are recipes in there for like pantry spaghetti, and building a spaghetti sauce from scratch with canned tomatoes and garlic and onions instead of buying a processed jar of sauce. So there's that, but then there's also recipes for pan-seared scallops, because I think everyone deserves to have access to things like that.
Yes.
So there really is a little something for everyone. It really is to help empower people in the kitchen. When the pandemic first hit and everyone was buying up all the toilet paper and the chicken, I wasn't worried. I was worried about toilet paper. I was not worried about what to cook, because I knew I could rely on my staple pantry. And so as we are navigating what our new normal looks like, I want people to feel safe and confident in what's going on in their kitchen.
Cool. So what are some of your favorites recipes in the book?
Ooh, the lemon spaghetti with garlicky roasted shrimp is so dreamy. It is just flavor explosion. So I really love that recipe. That recipe is impressive, but it's easy. And so when you are having people into your home, that's a great recipe to make. I also really like the pantry spaghetti or the taco chili, because they're warm, they're hearty. There's very balanced flavor in both of them. And I think that those are great meals to make for someone. I really want people to take Staples Plus 5, be able to make a recipe and pay it forward. I have developed some great relationships and really found a lot of joy in feeding other people. And it is something as simple as, you've had a rough week. I bet you don't have the bandwidth to put a meal on the table for your family. Let me just drop off a meal. You're going to find meals like that in Staples Plus 5. And then my sweet potato pie bar recipe is a nod to my late grandmother. I never got her sweet potato pie recipe, but I feel like I have spent the last several years trying to narrow it down to the point where it reminds me of her. I'm like, okay, she would say this is it. And so anytime I make sweet potato pie, or anytime I make these sweet potato pie bars, I feel her in the kitchen with me. Wow. It's a very, very sweet recipe. And just, when I can say that, yeah, grandma would be proud of this, I feel like I've been inducted into the Old Black Church Lady Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And so this is kind of like a nod to that.
Yay. Well, that's wonderful. And can we just take a moment to just briefly talk about the importance of getting those recipes from our aunties and grandmothers and mothers, just writing them down, securing them, sharing them with others. And even if that means, being in the kitchen all day with them and writing the ingredients down for them, or
Mm-hmm.
videotape, like we have a phone, videotape them, and
Mm-hmm.
just so you could just see, you see all the ingredients, you can see the measurements or the non-measurements,
Yes.
so that we have that. And that was one of the reasons why I thought about a food temptress cookbook store. And
Mm-hmm.
it pays homage to
Yes.
all those ancestors, grandmothers and mothers and aunties and uncles, uh, who we just want to honor, as much as we can. So cool.
Most
Very
definitely.
nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. So you're a personal chef in Indianapolis, Tanorria's Table.
Mm-hmm.
What other services do you provide?
Yeah, so I have essentially created my dream job in that I get to do all of the things that I love. I am a personal chef. I offer virtual cooking classes, whether they are public events where just one person can register and join based on what I'm cooking that month. I also do corporate virtual cooking classes. That's been a lot of fun since COVID hit and everyone's working remotely. I kind of come in and help break up that Zoom monotony and give team members a way to engage with each other outside of talking about work. I also am a diversity, equity, and inclusion consultant. So I work with small businesses and nonprofits to help them kind of figure out the gaps in their efforts towards making their workplace inclusive. And oftentimes I do get to bring food into that because I feel like food is a common denominator among people. It is a community builder. And so that's been really fun to do. And that's really rewarding. It's exhausting work, but it's rewarding work. I also have a podcast called Black Girls Eating, where my good friend and sister in food, Candace of Food Love Talk, she has a wonderful spice line, and she's just such a brilliant creative. We have a podcast together where we talk about sisterhood, justice, and well-seasoned food. And so we center Black talent. We center Black contributors to not just food, but to just the creative world. And that is one part of my job that never feels like work. It is just so much fun. So yeah, I do all those things. I speak publicly, whether it's keynoting something or sitting on a panel. So yeah, I really get to wake up and do everything that I love.
Nice. How does that feel? Do you pinch yourself sometimes?
Yes, it does not feel real often. My whole life doesn't feel real often. Even just, holding my book.
Yes, I wanted to tell you. Hold it up high.
Yes. Oh,
This way.
holding my book. Just
Yes.
I flip through it, in working with, promoting the book. I've had to go back and look at some recipes and send some information to people. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I get to open my own book and reference my own information. It is wild. It is wild.
Can we get a peek inside? Just a few
Sure.
pages.
So my wildly talented friend, Martina Jackson, photographed this entire book, all of the food. My amazingly talented friend, Leah Rife, she photographed the cover.
Love it.
And here's that lemon spaghetti. Oh,
yeah.
There we go.
Yum.
Lemon spaghetti.
Right.
So she just displayed my food so beautifully. And it was really cool. The majority of my team for this book, the recipe tester, my publicist, my editor, the photographers, the stylist, the chefs who prepared the food for the shoot, most of them were women and or women of color.
Yes,
So
yes.
I'm really, really proud of that too.
I am proud for you.
Thank you.
I'm a little too excited, but whatever. I am here for the support and love.
Yeah, most definitely.
I appreciate you. So what is next for you?
Just everybody buy my book. Just buy my book.
Yes.
Please buy my book. Coming, it is physically either going to be shipped to you if you've pre-ordered or available to be in your hands on November 23rd. And I will be offering a bundle of classes at the start of 2022 called my virtual cooking classes are called Conquering the Kitchen. And so we will be conquering the kitchen with Staples Plus 5, where each class will be based on recipes in the book. And so you can sign up, get a signed copy of the book if you join the class. And yeah, I'm really trying to position myself to make sure that this book is accessible to people, and
Yes.
that people know that there's a little something for everyone, and everybody buy it and pre-order it to help me write book number 2.
Yes, absolutely. And where can people, first of all, we want to sign up for some classes and we want to
Yes.
share the
Yes.
classes. Where can we go?
I am most active on Instagram at Tanoria's Table, Facebook, Tanoria's Table. My website, tanoriastable.com, has all of the places you can buy the book. It will have all of the information about the online cooking classes and all the services that I offer. If you sign up for my newsletter, we are wrapping up my Thanksgiving tips and tricks. So if you need help in the kitchen for Thanksgiving, you can sign up for that. But yeah, those are the places you can find me. You can find my podcast on my website or on Black Girls Eating.
Yes, we love this conversation. And I hope that you continue many more on your podcast, on your Instagram. We want, if you're listening, if you're watching, share the love.
Please.
Support our Black authors, particularly in the food industry. I'm here to pump them up, and we need your support, and they need your help. Just share the love. So thank you, Chef Tanorria.
Thank you so much.
Chef Tanorria is living in Indianapolis, and some of you may know I'm from Indiana as well. So I'm excited that fellow Hoosier first interview to kick off Food Temptress Cookbook Store.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you. And so if you want to buy her book from our affiliate shop, go to bookshop.org/shop/Food Temptress Cookbook Store. The link's in the chat. I will share it on our page. We will also share your cooking classes.
Thank
so
you.
if you send the link, we will share that.
Mm-hmm.
And we wish you a great holiday season. Thanks. And an awesome book launch. We're going to look for you on November 23rd. We're going to shout you out. I'm going to find you on social media and send virtual hugs.
Oh, I'm going to need them that day. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, that's it, everybody. So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Chef Tanorria.
Bye.
Good night. Happy eating.